Yeah,
Oh,
it is kind of mind-boggling because they're both basically one city.
very strange, especially because I've played the same venue and it said different. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But that
Well,
venue doesn't exist anymore. So.
fair enough. Well, are you ready to start this amazing interview?
Absolutely. This
Perfect.
no holds bar interview, the tell all story.
Yes, of Aaron from Killitorous or Clitoris.
Killitorous or
Killitorous.
Killitorous. It
Killitorous. Okay.
depends on who's listening to the band. I think and who's how funny they are,
Fair enough. Well, it's just
how much toilet humor they got.
we here at Thrashers Paradise have always had a difficult time pronouncing the band's name.
Yeah, the first person to ever get it right was we had at one of our shows on the last tour. We had a drag queen named Roxy Rhymes. She was an MC, and she got it perfect on her first try.
Really?
She's the first person to ever get it right, other than Europeans.
Of course the Europeans do.
And actually, yesterday we were in a Sunrise Music in Waterloo or Kitchener or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
and we were looking in the store to see if they had our album, which was sold out, thank God. But they had spelt our name wrong. They had spelled Killitorous,
Kill
which
it.
is actually how a lot of people come up and say the name to us. And it's funny, most of these death metal bands of our genre have these unreadable, masochistic logos,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the most plain and simple logo there is.
Yeah.
I think the fonts on your computer, you start.
But I think that's what helps stand you out from the rest of them is how basic the logo is.
Well, that was the idea, so I'm glad it worked.
Oh, of course.
We
Well,
wanted people to know who we were.
exactly. Are you ready to start this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. Welcome back to Thrashers Paradise. We have via the cell phone, we have Aaron from Killitorous and Annihilator. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I just got home from a tour with Gorod in Ontario and Quebec here in Canada.
Yes, what a tour indeed you did. Let me get this right. You did about, I want to say 10 cities?
Now, we did 8 shows in 9 days,
My
which is a
bad.
lot, I guess, but it was a short tour for us, really. We usually do much longer, but Gorod had to go to the United States after to start a tour with a bunch of awesome bands, Wolf King and Vale of Nath out that way.
Ooh.
So now they have started another tour, and they'll be touring for another month, I think.
Wow. But still, you were able to share the stage with some technical death metal gods from France. What was that like to do this mini tour with them?
Oh, it was very cool. They were really nice guys. A couple of the guys, I think, may have known each other because there's always these affiliate members who have played in bands with guys who have played with other guys. So there's always a sense of camaraderie there, especially in such a small scene. Tech death scene's small, so it was cool to play with them. Though I've been watching them play since I was in my teens, late teens.
Wow, that is amazing still. But you were able to do this, and I noticed that you did have two headlining shows of your own. One in London on February 10th, and the other one was last night, February 12th, in Waterloo. Were those show dates planned before the tour got announced or after?
Well, when we got the tour in play and we were officially on this Ontario Quebec run, we decided to do a couple dates after the tour as well because for us to get together and play is kind of a big deal because we don't live in the same city. We all live all over Canada, kind of, or all over Eastern Canada. So if we can get together, we want to do more than just 6 shows. We'd
Mm-hmm.
like to do, ideally, we get to do 2 weeks.
Fair enough. Now, it's been long anticipated, but your new album is due out this year, After Party. What's it like to finally be being able to release it after all this time?
Uh, we've been working on it nonstop, so it's going to be pretty gratifying, I think. I hope so. The pre-orders have been good. People seem to be really into the single we released there. So I'm just hoping for the best with all the time we put into it. We've been really working hard for the last 6 years since the last album, just basically nonstop writing and jamming and doing this 3 guitar thing. That's the thing that was really hard. Was we went into the studio and didn't really know how hard it was going to have to be to do 3 or 4 guitars for the entire album. And it's been a real shock and a learning experience, but now we know what we're going to do for the next one too.
Now, the single you did release was Married with Children. Before I ask my next question, I just want to say I actually thought it was a cover of the theme song for Married with Children. Not gonna lie.
It is not, but it is. It's not even really about Married with Children at all. It's about the donut shop guy, Glenn from Wayne's World,
Okay.
who is played by the guy from Married with Children. So we like the name Married with Children better than Glenn the donut shop.
Fair enough. Now, what made you all collectively want to release Married with Children first off of the new album?
We felt it was the song that stood out the most as a sing along kind of song where people can get into it. And for Deck Death, that's like a hard.
Fair enough. Now, but besides adding a third guitar, what was the biggest difference from from Party Grind to After Party?
There's really not a whole lot different, honestly. We're keeping the same kind of songs going. It's a more melodic, I'd say, on the new album, and there's like a lot more guitar solos. But other than that, it's still the same vibe. Maybe there's some slams and stuff now, some things people aren't going to be expecting, some weird, freaky stuff. But it's nothing we wouldn't have done on the last album had we just thought of it then. We're just keeping the flow going, really.
Now, you all are very busy collectively, as Killitorous is a supergroup. You are in Annihilator, and a bunch of the other members are in other big name bands. What's going to be the hardest thing about trying to promote this album via live shows?
Well, it's always just going to be scheduling. Scheduling is always the real last straw when it comes to us doing tours and taking on live appearances and stuff. Just hard for us all to get together. And it's even hard before the touring thing is involved because we don't live in the same city. So we just have to really make sure we can get on some tours and plan our stuff and make sure that we, have good scheduling. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. But thankfully, we have guys who can also fill in for us and bring on or help us out. We know a lot of talented musicians.
That is definitely a big blessing. Now, you are a very busy man this year because not only is this album coming out 4/20, but earlier in the year you did release the new Annihilator album. How bombarded are you going to be with performing?
Well, it's, I think that because we just did a 3-month tour with Annihilator, right before the single for Married with Children and the Annihilator album came out basically around the same time. But I knew before even the year started, because we've been working on all this stuff for so long, I knew this was going to be probably the busiest year of my life. So I'm just trying to make sure I can do it. And it just makes me really proud to have 2 albums that are going to be available in the same year. And for fans, that's I guess a cool thing too.
Exactly. Now, one of my favorite things about your performance last night was not only the song titles, but the merchandise you were selling to correspond with your band's theme. A lot of your merchandise had a lot of pop culture references. How hard was it to get the legal okay to add them to your merchandise?
Well, just doing what we had to do. We're kind of like an underground band, so thankfully, all of our stuff is hand-drawn by different artists. We make sure that we kind of go around any legal confrontation. So really, it's just focusing on making sure the art doesn't really conflict with the character that we're trying to portray too much. Same kind of like with Inferi and their Yoda T-shirt and all these tech bands releasing all these sweet video game reference shirts. Same thing with us.
Awesome. Now, the tour just ended yesterday. You're finally back home. What for you was the highlight of this little tour?
Just seeing all the fans playing so many shows is amazing. That's really it.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to ask you one last question because I bet you are dying to get a good night rest in your own bed for once in a couple of days.
Absolutely.
The question we usually ask all of our guests last is what we call the poser question, and it's very simple. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Oh, Lemmy.
That is correct. Aaron, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and for being able to do this. I really appreciate this. I'm definitely looking forward to the release of Aftermath, After Party, which comes out 4/20 this year.
Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be well. It really doesn't come out on 4/20 because that's not a release date. It comes out on the Friday following.
Ah, okay.
But we're going with the party theme.
Awesome. Well, again, Aaron, thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the year. I hope to catch another show or two of yours this year.
Well, next time come out and we'll do an interview in person instead of on the phone.
I would love to do that. I'll hold you to it.
Party on, dude.
Party on, man. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please keep on thrashing and stay tuned for our next awesome interview.